All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you all for gathering here tonight. My name is Len Luciano, and welcome to our Freeholder Chambers here at the Essex County Hall of Records building. Welcoming remarks was going to come on behalf of our Freeholder President, Brendan Gill, but he is in the back room, and he said he needs another 5 or 10 minutes. But out of respect for everyone who has other engagements tonight, we're going to begin. And when the Freeholder President is available, he's going to come and bring his welcoming remarks. I want to, again, just thank everyone for being here. One of the things that I've really loved over the last 7 years being a freeholder representing District 4, which is West and North Essex, is not only do we do the daily business of the county with our resolutions, our ordinances, going through the budget, but we also spend time having events like this on a monthly basis, honoring different religions, ethnicities, and all the folks from different walks of life that live here and reside here in Essex County. We're going to begin with a special performance in the national anthem by Jerry Pierce. Where's Jerry Pierce? Can we welcome Jerry? Please come on up, Jerry.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave truth through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave. We'd like to do the Italian national anthem. Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia sa desta dell'elmo Scipio se sinta la testa dove la vittoria la porga la chioma che sciava di Roma e Dio la creò. Fratelli d'Italia, Italia sa destra dell'elmo de Scipio, senzinta la testa, dove la vittoria canta da chioma, che sciava di Roma, e Dio la creò. Stringiami a corte, siam prant la morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiam a corte, siam prant la morte, siam pronti la morte, l'Italia chiamò. Thank you.
Thank you for such a beautiful performance. Let's give him another round of applause. At this time, I'd like to call and ask Father Thomas Nicastro, who is the parochial vicar of St. Mary's Roman Catholic Church in Nutley, to deliver the opening prayer.
Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. God, our Heavenly Father, Lord of all nations, we give you thanks for all your good gifts and for the fellowship we share this evening. As proud Italian-American citizens of the United States of America, members of Italian American organizations, we have gathered here this evening to commemorate and celebrate Columbus Day 2018 and Italian Heritage Month. We recall and celebrate the bravery and goodwill of daring people in the person of Christopher Columbus and his loyal followers. As loyal citizens, we take pride in our great nation that came into the existence because of the bravery and Christian spirit of a determined navigator who set out from afar to discover the wonderful land of America, a land of opportunity, beauty, faith, and diversity. Lord, we ask you to bless all our 2018 honorees. And may the spirit of Columbus, whom we honor especially this evening, spark goodwill, enthusiasm, and eagerness of all. We pray that goodwill and steadfastness of Columbus will always be for us an example to be men and women determined in our cause for unity and grateful for the opportunity to serve our neighbor and become chance takers, trailblazers in our own day. We are grateful for the abundant harvest we have received from your hands through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Thank you, Father Tom. Again, welcome everyone here for our 2018 Italian American Freeholder Italian American Heritage Freeholder Celebration. I see he has just come from his chambers to welcome us to the Freeholder Chambers here, our Freeholder President, Brendan Gill.
Thank you, Freeholder Luciano. That made it sound much more auspicious than it actually is. So I apologize for my lateness, and to all the honorees tonight, congratulations. It's great to be here with you this evening. To the county executive, to our constitutional officers, our sheriff, Sheriff Fontoura, to the assemblywoman, and all of our staff that is here, good afternoon. As Freeholder Luciano said, my name is Brendan Gill, and I have the honor of serving as the president of the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. Today marks another opportunity to celebrate the vast diversity that exists in Essex County. We celebrate the values of various cultures throughout the year, and today we proudly celebrate Italian heritage and culture. Our honorees for this afternoon: Mr. Sam DeMeo, Ms. Annette Romano, Ms. Susan Lamorte, our committee members of the Nutley Belleville Columbus Day Parade, and the one and only Joe Parlavecchio, a former Essex County freeholder that we're honored to have with us this evening. These individuals and our parade committee are just a mere reflection of the outstanding people who are of Italian descent who have done great things here in Essex. Thank you for joining us as we continue to celebrate the unique and vibrant cultures that have written the American story. I also, as Freeholder Emeritus Parlavecchio reminds me, I've used this celebration to remind people that I'm actually also half Italian, although I am by and large associated as an Irishman with a name like Brendan Gill. But my family's, my own personal family story, my grandfather's last name was Giglioli, and when he came to this country, he could not get a job, as most people had difficulty when they were starting out, when he emigrated from Italy. And in order to get a job to support his family, the person said, "You must shorten your last name to Gill, G-I-L-L." He went on to marry a 100% Irish woman. That's not my fault. But I say that in all seriousness to say that, you know, we talk about our diversity quite a bit here in this county, and it's represented right here on the makeup of this Essex County Freeholder Board. And between Freeholder Luciano, who is also, I think, half Italian and half Irish, and Freeholder Gill, you get 1 and 1 on each side. Yeah, exactly. So it's, again, my pleasure to be here as we start our program, and I look forward to being with everyone for a lovely evening. All the best.
Some dignitaries, folks in the room that I want us to give a warm welcome and recognition to. We'll start with our current freeholder board and my colleagues. Our longest tenured freeholder, hailing from Livingston, freeholder Patricia Siebold. Our second longest tenured freeholder on the board of chosen freeholders from the West Ward of Newark, Rufus Johnson. Freeholder at large from the township of Irvington, Levy Jones. District freeholder from the North Ward of Newark, Robert Mercado. And district freeholder from the township of Bloomfield, Carlos Palmeras. Let us also give a warm welcome to our chief of staff, Phil Elijah. Deputy Chief of Staff, William Bill Payne. Bloomfield Deputy Chief, Sean Schmidt. Our Essex County Sheriff, Armando Fontoura. Our County Clerk, Chris Durkin. Assemblywoman from the East Ward, Eliana Pinter-Marin. Assemblyman from Nutley, but originally from Belleville, Ralph Caputo. Newark originally, I'm sorry, Ralph Caputo. Inspector General at the county, Dominic Scaglione. Business Manager for IBEW 1158, our good friend Joe Calabro. Former Essex County freeholder and good friend John Alati. Our Deputy County Administrator, Julius J. Coltree. Chief of the Bloomfield Fire Department, Lou Venezia. Our County Administrator and the Mayor of Montclair, Robert Jackson. And our Assistant County Administrator, Carl Hunt. Thank you, Carl. Some other folks that we may have missed, we will get to you. I'm going to divert from the program just a tad bit to give him an opportunity to speak. Sheriff, would you like to say a few words on behalf of the honorees, yourself, and the Sheriff's Department? Let's welcome Armando.
Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of the honorees. Joe Polovecchio and I grew up together in the Iron Brown section of Newark. He would tell people that he's Portuguese, and I would tell people that I'm Italian. And it worked out well for both of us, I think, Joe, don't you think, so far? And when I first ran for office, our chairman then, Ray Durkin, and you were part of that, along with John Alati. You know, I used to go around, and a lot of folks thought I was Italian, Armando B. Fontoura. So I would politely correct them. They always said, listen, just shut up. Don't say anything. Just say yes. So you go along with this. I said, okay. So I went along, and worked out well for all of us. But I want to congratulate you, Joe. You're the best. We have a lot of great times together, a lot of hard times together, but we're here, well-deserved, back home where you belong. You know, this is your building, I think, isn't it? Joe, can we rename this after Joe? We'll think about this some other time. We'll think about that. Sammy DeMayo, you know, Sammy I've known him when he was born. You know, his father and I were in the police academy together, and here he came along and rose through the ranks of everything. You've accomplished it all. Congratulations. You know, sandwiched in with the two beautiful ladies, very brilliant women. You know, you bring a little class to this to these two guys, and thank you for being here. Congratulations to all of you. Let's have a great Columbus Day on the 8th. We'll be around in Belleville in a parade, and see you all then. God bless you all. Thank you very much.
And Freeholder President Gill and I also discussed, there's one gentleman who's in the room, one was one of our predecessors. In fact, Brendan stepped into his shoes in the District 5 freeholder seat. I sat on the board with him in the months of August, September, October, November, and December, and that is our current assemblyman, former freeholder from District 5, Ralph Caputo, for a few words. Ralph.
Well, Joseph, it's every day. We see each other every day, so I couldn't skip this. You'd never forgive me. I'm obviously here out of love and respect for all the honorees. Susan, who does a wonderful job in terms of her committee, and Father Nicastro and Edith, what they're doing, Edie, what they're doing with the Columbus Day Parade and dinner. Let's give them a round of applause for what's going on. And all the honorees, Andre, Jeannie, Tony, all of you guys, you know, Mrs. Corella, all of you really deserve the honor that you have, and we'll all be together with you on Sunday, marching along Belleville, Nutley, Columbus Day Parade. Let me just say a couple of words about being here. This is a great feeling to be back in this chamber. Joe was county executive, and I got elected as, he didn't want me, but I got elected with him, and we got to love each other. And I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you why, because I'm going to be honest, Joe, and Belial said this every time he made a speech. We were privileged to be here in the 9 years that I served, along with this administration that did some remarkable things for the county of Essex. Joe DiVincenzo, what an Italian. Give him a round of applause. And it's always good to see John and Sam. Sam, I need Sam because he has police powers. And if I get into difficulties, I can make a call late at night. But my friend Joe Polavecchio, let me just say a couple words about Joe. We go way back over 50 years, right, Joe? It's a long time. And you got all your hair. It's unbelievable. But we were teachers in the Newark school system. We struggled to get into politics. It wasn't easy. Everything that you achieved or anyone else achieved in those days, they had to work very hard for it. And I think Joe has proven to be a tremendous public official, a great person. And, you know, most people disappear when they're not elected. He continued to work for other people, to invest in other people. And I think it's a sign of his leadership and the reason why you're being recognized, because of all the things you have done after all of the fine things you did when you were a freeholder. You continued to serve. So Joe Polavecchio, my friend. I'll say a couple more words and I'm going to sit down. You know, we both come out of the city of Newark. And when we grew up in Newark, in the community that we grew up in, it was not America. It was a colony. It was actually like being in Italy. We didn't know any better. In fact, most of us never left the city, very rarely left the city, and didn't really know our way around outside of the city. It was a great place to be. And it was also a great place to learn about other ethnic groups. It was a fine place because we received the gifts of our community and our culture. And I think this event is typical of what we have to continue to do. It's difficult because things have changed, but the crowd that's here tonight, I'm sure nobody's got a gun to their head. They're all here because they want to be. And congratulations to all our honorees, to Sammy, to Joe, to you, dear, okay? All you do. I mean, the Columbus Day Parade, Joe had to settle a couple of disputes one time, was a disaster until they took over, these two ladies and Father Nicastro. And since those days, Joe, it's been smooth. We'll see you on Sunday. Thanks very, very much.
And recognizing our Essex County Democratic Chair, who hails from East Orange, who is also a former New Jersey State Assembly and former Essex County freeholder, for a few words, Leroy Jones, Jr.
See, you know, I just have a knack. You know, every time I walk into a room, I don't even get a chance to, like, you know, collect myself. It's always, you know, Leroy come up. But I couldn't think of, you know, being called, you know, Upland, you know, for such an auspicious occasion and a, you know, very select and special group of honorees. Italian Heritage Month. You know, Joe, as, you know, you typically do, you know, and the Board of Freeholders try to recognize and do it in such a fine way, the diversity of this county. And it is my privilege to be part and parcel of that, whether I sat in one of these chairs as a freeholder or served in the chamber of the General Assembly, and even as in the capacity of the Democratic chairperson. What you do and what you've done, for your heritage, for community, for society, transcends politics, transcends Democrats and Republicans, because it was all about people. I had the privilege of serving with this young man here for a number of years on this board, and I listened to Ralph, and so many could go home after public life, but Joe, Sammy, Susan, and Annette, they stay the course. Whether they, have an elected title, whether they, serve us, are sworn to protect and serve us, whether they keep, our heritage alive by, making sure a parade never loses life and is always there to recognize our heritage. And certainly, Annette, your service, to our party and building Milburn the way that you have over the last, several years, has, speaks volumes, for, what, we do as people. And, we just happen to be from, different parts of the world. But the thing that we share is, that undying spirit to serve people, to serve our communities. So today, is your day. I commend the members of the Board of Freeholders for having the will and the vision to recognize and embrace, your service model. And, I am just, here, like countless others, to just say congratulations, job well done, and, keep the mission going. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chairman. And Chairman, we all know in this room that you set the tempo and the speed for us here in Essex County when it comes to the politics. I know we do have an election coming up in 6 weeks, but the next gentleman that's going to follow you sets the speed and the tempo for Essex County government. He's been our county executive since 2002. Before that, he sat as freeholder president. And this county, is what it is today because of the leadership of Joseph N. DiVincenzo Jr. And as I bring him up, we're going to give him a warm welcoming. I can just tell everyone in this room that, our job as freeholders is to work, hand in hand and alongside the county administration. Joe has a great team, from his chief of staff to all his directors to our county administrator. And, we look really good as freeholders, but we wouldn't if it wasn't for your leadership and your vision. Joe D.
I just want you to know, to clarify one thing the sheriff said about that rumor that he was trying to stop the rumors. That he started the rumor, the sheriff. He's everybody says he's not a good, he's a great politician. To Freeholder President Brendan Gill, Freeholder Vice President Wayne Richardson, to the entire Freeholder Board. That was the best introduction you ever gave me, Freeholder Luciano. But listen, it's what we've done the last 16 years hasn't been myself, it's been our team, and I say this over and over again, I'm so proud. Essex County, we have 22 towns, we have 800,000 people, we have 3,500 employees, and we have a very, very strong Freeholder Board that works together. And the things that have been done the last 16 years, one person can't do it alone. It's been a team effort. So I'm very, very proud of that. I'm very proud of what we've done with our financial house, that we now are a AAA bond rating county, which has never happened in Essex County, that everyone deserves credit for that. What makes us different here is our county is the best county in the state of New Jersey. It's because of our diversity. And, this is Italian Heritage Month, and, we all come out and we all celebrate, no matter what we are. Today's a great day. And Susan, to you, first of all, I remember those days in my office, Belleville and Nutley, trying to keep the parade together, trying to keep everybody together on one team. You did it, Susan. And not only you, your team did it, and I want to congratulate you and your parade committee, and to all the honorees, congratulations. You deserve it. To Annette, the chairman said it. You know, you are not only the chairman, but you're also involved in your community each and every day. And anytime I know you call Leroy and myself, it's about the community. It's never about yourself. So this is an award that you deserve, and congratulations to you. Sammy DeMayo is a cop's cop, you know, and he is nothing but the best. There's a name, Anthony Ambrose. I just want you to know Sam DeMayo is a better cop than Anthony. Are you going to say that today? Is he here? No, he's not here. Make sure you say that on the microphone. But Sammy, congratulations. You make us all proud. This young man here, Joe Polavecchio, is not only the Freeholder Board, but he was the president of the Freeholder Board. Joe is a great politician, but more importantly, he was a professional educator, first and foremost. When we were both working at the Newark Public Schools, JP, all right, had the best school in the city of Newark, Dayton Street School. And it's something that we all could be very, very proud of. So when I see Joe, I don't see Joe as an elected official. I see him as an educator. And he's always out there teaching. Joe, there's no question you deserve it. You're very, very proud of you, and keep up the good work. Now, to Freeholder Luciano, to Freeholder Gill, they said they're both 50%. You know, at one time, Chairman, and you remember, you were on the board. We used to have three Italians on the Freeholder Board. So now what they do is divide and conquer. You just gave us 50-50. But I'm proud to have them as representing us in Essex County, Brendan and Freeholder Luciano and the entire Freeholder Board. You do a great job. Enjoy the night.
Thank you, Joe D. And before we move on in the program, let's give a warm welcome to another former freeholder and colleague of mine from East Orange, Carol Clark. Carol, thanks for being back here. Freeholder Palmares.
Thank you, Freeholder. It's quite humbling when you see who's been a freeholder before you. You're quite humble that I get to now serve in a role with so many great people have done before, and maybe many people serve with me now, and it's very inspiring, so thank you. I want to just welcome you all. I'm Carlos Palmares. I'm the Bloomfield guy, District 5, representing Nutley and Belleville, which I'm very excited about your parade. I cut short my trip to Miami to try to make that parade on Sunday, so I hope the weather's as good as Miami. We'll see what we can do. Maybe not so hot. But we're here to honor a good number of people, and one of those is someone who's a good friend of mine, is Sam DeMayo. So I'd like to ask Sam to come on up here for a moment. Welcome this guy. So let me tell you a little bit about Sam that you probably already know, but I'm going to try to give you some personal insights that I have. It's not a roast of, don't worry, it's not a roast. He's a gym rat, so I'm not going to mess with him. So Sam began his career in law enforcement in 1986. Following in his father's footsteps, he joined the Newark Police Department. I think he was also inspired by Miami Vice as well. Is that correct? He did tell me that over a couple of beers one time. He ascended through the ranks, and throughout his 28-year career as patrolman to police director. He was involved in the creation of the Essex County Major Crimes Task Force and an active participant in the FBI's Violent Crime Task Force. He retired, as young as he looks, from Newark in 2014 and became the Bloomfield Police Director, where he's focused on enhancing the department's efficiency, improving quality of life, and et cetera in Bloomfield. I know this personally because I was fortunate to be one of the members of the council at the time to bring Sam in. And I can tell you from firsthand experience that he's brought, in addition to all the stuff you'll see in the paperwork, a tremendous amount of credibility, a lot of respect for the department, and I think an immense amount of pride that he shares with the many officers who are here today. So in that respect, we're very grateful because I live just a few blocks away from the police department, and I can tell you firsthand that we have a top-notch police department in Bloomfield, and I'm very proud of them. And that's a real testament to his leadership and the team that he's put together. He's an active member of the Police Executive Research Forum and completed studies at the Senior Management Institute for Police at Boston University, the National Executive Institute at the FBI National Academy, and the Law Enforcement Management Studies program at Harvard University's Kennedy School of Government. So today, it is truly my pleasure to present Sam DeMeo with the board's commendation. Not to be outdone, because this is a great group that we're honoring, Senator Booker and Assemblywoman Timberlake have also provided letters of commendation as well. So at this point, I want to ask Sam to say a few words, and then I'm sure we'll do a bunch of pictures in a little bit. Sam?
Thank you. Thank you, Freeholder. Thank you to the Board of Chosen Freeholders for this honor. Throughout our careers, we're nominated for different awards and things for law enforcement or whatever our career paths may take us. But this is very special for me, being honored during Italian Heritage Month because of the great pride that I have in my Italian heritage. And I think what's synonymous with Italian heritage is family. Family structure, family core, and family core values. And the things that all of us Italians were raised in a certain way, whether it was being dragged to your grandmother's house on Sunday morning to visit, the 1 o'clock Sunday dinners, followed by the 7 o'clock sandwiches at night, things that have made it from generations ago that most of us all still do today. That family structure for me and my family started in 1918 when my great-grandfather came to Newark from Naples, Italy, from Avellino, and came here with practically nothing, worked hard, got a trade as a stone cutter, worked on the cathedral and the Empire State Building through his career. Worked hard for little and with a lot of hours and little money, but raised his 7 children here in the city of Newark in a home that they bought on Crane Street and Wood Street, which no longer exists. And when you look from a man like that who came to this country with nothing but core family values, had nothing, and raised family that continued through generations to where I am in my family today, a man with little education, little or no education, to the generation of my children now, who are the first to not only graduate college, but to be advancing forward to get their master's degrees. And I think that's just a testament to Italian tradition and to Italian family values. And what I think we all need to tell the next generation of Italians, for me that would be my grandchildren, is maintain the core Italian values, maintain your Italian heritage, and the sky is certainly the limit. Thank you all for coming here tonight and supporting this event. Thank you.
I want to also acknowledge the fact that Senator Menendez also included a letter of commendation there as well. So congratulations, Sam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder Palmaris. Congratulations again, Sam DeMeo. For a few words, our Assemblywoman from the East Ward, Eliana Pinter-Marin.
Thank you. I just want to say congratulations to all the honorees here today. So Armando was saying that people thought he was Italian. I never tell people that because everyone knows that I am Portuguese. I love you, Armando. But to all the honorees here today, I know how important it is to honor your culture and to never forget where it is that you come from. So to Sammy DeMeo, we miss you in Newark. We love you. We know that Anthony Ambrose is doing a wonderful job. But whenever you want to come back, if he retires, there's always an opportunity there for you. Annette, I worked with Nick Romano for over 7 years in the clerk's office. At times, I felt like I was his wife. I would yell at him to eat, to make sure he got home, that he looked tired, he needed to go to the doctor. So thank you for sharing Nick with us, because we really love you, and you have become a part of our family as well. To Susan Lamort, thank you very much for all for your service that you have done. You've probably had the toughest job working in the Department of DDD, and I know how difficult that is, so congratulations for everything that you've done. And for myself, personally, I left the best for last to my Joe P. So I'm very fortunate to have my mom and my dad, but Joe P. really has taken me under his wing. You've taught me everything that I know in politics. You've taught me always to be ready. You included me as part of your family. So, Michael, I'm sorry you have a sister, even though you already have one. And I love you very much. And I can't, there's no words that I have to describe how much and how big a part of my family you are. Thank you for being the person that you are. Thank you for always including me as part of your family. And I look forward to always having you around because you are one of my mentors and you are my mentor. So thank you.
I don't even know what's going on right here. and I'm not gonna try to figure that out. To the for what you do for us each and every day in Trenton as well. And we're lucky to have you as a part of our Essex County family. And thank you for taking time to be here with us and always be here with us every time we do one of these ceremonies. So thank you so much. At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Annette Romano to please join me at the podium. Let's give her a round of applause. It's good to see you, Annette. Annette is a first-generation Italian and a lifelong resident of Millburn. She attended the public school system and graduated from Millburn High School. She furthered her education and graduated from the American Institute of Banking, as well as attended the Professional School of Business, where she obtained her real estate license. Annette currently works for the County of Essex, Division of Community Health Services, Office of the Disabled, and is the Human Resources Liaison in the unit. She began working in banking while attending high school in the work-study program. She continued working full-time after graduation, accelerating through the ranks to become a branch manager with the Howard Savings and First Union Banks. After the 9/11 tragedy, Annette volunteered with the American Red Cross and shortly thereafter became the Health and Safety Director. She has also founded and organized a 5K run to benefit the local American Red Cross chapter, an event which has run for the last 10 years and still runs today. She is very active in her community and has served in several organizations, such as the Millburn Short Hills Democratic Committee, as our county chairman acknowledged, the Short Hills Local Advisory Commission, the Short Hills Senior Citizen Advisory Commission, the United Way of Millburn and Short Hills, and the Essex County Senior Services Commission, just to name a few. What they left out of this presentation, Annette, is you and Nick's proud dedication to Seton Hall University and Seton Hall University basketball. Go Pirates, right? And as a fellow alum, so if you want to catch them any day at the Prudential Center where Seton Hall is playing, you will find them rooting their beloved Pirates on. Annette, it was really my pleasure and honor to nominate you this evening. We're lucky to have you here in the county family and our political family, and for everything that you do to represent the culture, your Italian-American culture, each and every day. So with that, I'd like to present you, thank you, thanks, Joel, commendation, and about 6 other awards. Menendez, Timberlake, and Booker. That sounds like a good group. The Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders hereby issues this resolution honoring Annette Romano for the 2018 Italian Heritage Month celebration on October 3rd, 2018. Congratulations, Annette, and all the best. And we do again have commendations here from our junior United States Senator Cory Booker, from our senior United States Senator, Senator Menendez, and from our 34th District Assemblywoman, Assemblywoman Timberlake, State Senator Nia Gill, and Assemblyman Tom Giblin.
Wow.
We're going to give you a big bag. Okay.
Thank you. I want to first congratulate my co-recipients. Job well done. Thank you to the Board of Chosen Freeholders. Thank you, Chairman Leroy Jones, for your kind words. My boss, Joe D., thank you very much for your kind words. So I'm going to read this, otherwise I'm going to get very emotional. Okay. I'd like to thank my husband of 29 years, Nick Romano, for all your love and support. My children in the back. My 3 children in the back, Nick, Jessica, and Christina, thank you for your love and support, my Seton Hall grads. I'm also, sorry. I'm also very blessed to have my mother here, Carmela DePasqua. Please stand up. I'd like to thank her and recognize her for raising her children to be kind and giving individuals. I wish my dad were here tonight to celebrate this great honor. As a child, I remember my parents would do anything for anyone. My mom and dad were very proud of their Italian heritage, but they were equally proud when they became U.S. citizens. To my dad, that was the achievement of a lifetime. He lived the American dream. The most rewarding experience has been to watch my children grow into adults, sharing the same caring and understanding of others that my husband and I have. Just want to thank everyone again for this great honor. Thank you.
Another round of applause for Annette Romano, ladies and gentlemen. Before I bring up our second honoree for this evening, I just wanted to say a quick few words about our 2 other honorees. To Director DeMeo, I just want to again congratulate you on behalf of the County Freeholder Board. Also, watching what you're doing, not only what you have done in the city of Newark and what you've done in the township of Bloomfield has been truly tremendous. It's been a pleasure to get to know you better. And I think, you know, one of the things that was left out in the presentation, Freeholder Pomeris, is Director DeMeo's commitment to his community relations within his department. And I think that's what separates you from some of the others in terms of your leadership. And you should be congratulated for that and acknowledged for that. So thank you for everything that you have done. To former freeholder Joe Parlavecchio, again, they said this was your chamber, and it is your chamber in many, many ways. You have been a mentor to many, I know to me, over the years. I can't thank you enough for how gracious you have been with your time, with just checking in on things that are unrelated to politics. For those of us who are on the social media platforms, Joe is a big Facebook guy, and I say that in all seriousness, that Joe takes the time to send you a little message when you post something about your children and your family, not just about political events. And I think that says a lot about who you are and your own family, and I'm really honored that to call you a friend. So again, congratulations. To our next honoree at this time, I'd like to ask Susan Lamort to please join me at the podium. Susan. Congratulations. Thank you. I've had the honor to know Susan for some time now, as I have marched in the parade for many, many years, close to 25 years now. She's a person that stays behind the scenes but has been instrumental in putting together all the integral parts that make this parade what it is today. Susan was born and raised in Newark. She's a first-generation Italian, the proud daughter of the late Pasquale and Asante Lamort. She attended St. Augustine's Grammar School, Our Lady of Good Counsel High School in Newark, and graduated with a degree in elementary education with a minor in psychology from Keene University in Union. She taught briefly in both Newark, Bellevue, beginning her career with the state of New Jersey. In 1981, she welcomed the opportunity to work with the Division of Disability Determination Services in Newark. She has distinguished herself in the area of adjudication, claimant service, and developed a harmonious relationship with the public, her coworkers, managers, and the medical community. In 2010, she was appointed the Assistant Director of Administration, overseeing external context, policy and procedure, fiscal and budget, as well as the Accounting Unit and Disability Hearing Unit. In June 2014, she retired from the Disability Determination Services after 35 years of service. Susan was the driving force in the rejuvenation of the New Jersey chapter of the National Association of Disability Examiners. She was also the first Italian-American elected president of the National Association of Disability Examiners, representing 2,500 members in 1996. She has testified before Congress, representing the organization in 1992 on the problems facing the disability programs and the President's Commission on Childhood Disability in 1995. She is currently the Executive Secretary of the Federation of Italian-American Societies of New Jersey since 1996. She is also actively involved, as been pointed out, in the Nutley-Belleville-Columbus Day Parade, just a little bit, in the Nutley-Belleville-Columbus Day Parade Committee and St. Lucy's Church in Newark. In 2010, she was recognized by the Italian Tribune as the Italian Woman of Italian Heritage, and she was named the Italian Belleville Woman of the Year by the Nutley-Belleville-Columbus Day Committee in 2011. Today, we celebrate your achievements as a distinguished Italian American. I'm proud to present you with this board's commendation. We also have commendations from our Senior Senator Robert Yanendez, our Junior Senator Cory Booker, and from our 34th District Legislative Delegation, Assemblywoman Timberlake, Senator Gill, Assemblywoman Giblin. It's really my honor and privilege to recognize you and to thank you for everything that you have done to keep this tradition going and alive. Susan.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the Board of Freeholders for this great honor, and also congratulate the other distinguished honorees and wish them continued success. It is with a great sense of pride and honor, a respect for our heritage, culture, and our traditions, and a vision for our future that I accept this honor. Both my parents were born in Italy. My mom came when she was 8, and my dad came when he was 11. They both worked very hard and made many sacrifices to provide a better place for my brothers and I. It was my parents who instilled in me to do good and to do the best of whatever you decided to do with your life. I was very fortunate. I met truly wonderful people throughout my career that shared their knowledge, their skills and talents, and showed me how to take the challenges that we face every day and turn them into opportunities to help others and myself. I think everyone would agree that this is a very exciting time for all of us of Italian heritage. We're at critical crossroads, and today we have the opportunity and the responsibility to get actively involved in teaching our children and our younger generation the importance of knowing their heritage, their culture, their traditions, and being proud of it, and working hard to protect and preserve it. Who better than us to teach them, and what better time but now? So our future is now. So I'd like to thank again the Freeholders for this great honor, and also to thank my special friends who keep me positive, and all my good friends from the Parade Committee and the Federation who are here to help me celebrate this great honor. And thank you for your friendship. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Pat Siebold. I'm a freeholder at large in Essex County, and I am really honored to participate in today's Italian Heritage Month event. I'd like to honor and welcome my really good friend and colleague, Joe Parlavecchio, to the podium.
You got a speech.
A little bit about our relationship before I tell you all about Joe. I first met Joe in the late 70s during the election of the very first county executive here in Essex. And we have been friends ever since. Joe was a freeholder, and I served on the freeholder board with him. Then Joe left the Freeholder Board after he served for 18 years. And he constantly harassed me that I was reaching 18 years. And soon I surpassed him. And he never lets me forget it. Even to this day, he reminds me that I have many more years on the Freeholder Board than he had, because I'm the longest serving freeholder in Essex County, in the history of Essex County. And let me tell you, that upsets Joe, because when he got to 18, he thought he was. So now, what can I tell you?
Thanks, Pat. What? I got a little caveat. Oh, yeah, see, go ahead.
And the other good thing is, the other wonderful part about Joe is that his son, Michael Parlavecchio, who's here over where you're, okay? Michael is the attorney to the Freeholder Board. So I see a Parlavecchio all the time. Always.
Now you see his wife, Karen?
Yes. Correct. His wife.
And children.
And 2 kids. Right, and I hear about them all the time because I hear about it from Michael and I hear about it from Joe. Okay, Joe was born and raised in the Ironbound section of Newark. He's a graduate of Our Lady of Mount Carmel Elementary School and Newark Eastside High School. He holds bachelor's and master's degrees from Jersey City University and has completed additional postgraduate work at Kane University and Seton Hall University. He began his professional career as an educator with the Newark Board of Education in 1965. And I have to just digress for a minute, because I started teaching in Newark in 1963. And I taught 30 years at West Orange High School. So we have more in common because we're both educators. He was appointed to the position of elementary, what'd you say?
You're going to read the whole thing?
Yes. In 1971, he was promoted to vice principal of Oliver Street School. And in 1974, he was appointed principal of Hawkins Street School Annex. In 1976, he became the principal of Dayton Street School, where he served in that capacity for 19 years until retiring from education in 1995. As a teenager in 1961, Joe began his association with the Democratic Party when he became a member of the East Ward Young Democrats and served as his president from 1969 to 1973, and also served as vice president of the Essex County Young Democrats. He was then elected and served as vice chairman of Newark's East Ward Democratic County Committee from 1974 to 1980. He continues to be an active member of the Essex County Democratic Committee, as he has been for over 50 years. In 1978, he was appointed to fill a vacancy on the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, and I served part of my term with Joe. In 1981, he was elected to his first full term as an at-large member of the Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders. He was re-elected in 1984, 1987, 1990, and 1993, representing District 1. During his tenure on the Board of Freeholders, he served as vice president from 1986 to 1988 and was elected president of the board in January of 1989. Joe is self-employed and serves as an elected member of the New Jersey Democratic State Committee. So for me personally, today is really a privilege to present you with the board's commendation.
Thank you. Pat, you got to stay up here, so I got to go with it.
I also have commendations here from Menendez, Booker, and Giblin, Gill, and Timberlake, right?
Correct. Just stay here for a second.
Joe says I have to stay here. I don't know what he's going to say about me.
Just move over just a little touch. First of all, thank you, Pat. And before I give the little caveat to her, this young lady being the longest-serving freeholder, first let me say thank you to the chairman, the sheriff, the executive, the assemblyman, John Alati, our assemblywoman, for those kind remarks. Whoever else said something very nice, it's very appreciated, but by my family and myself. But to Pat Siebold, she was, no question, the longest-serving freeholder
in Essex County under the executive form of government.
Right.
Unbeknownst to her, even though she mentioned it, I happen to have served under the old form of government.
I know, I remember.
And if you remember that board, if you remember that historic board after centuries of Tom Giblin, Timmy McCormick, Harry McEnroe, Marty Scaturo from Bloomfield, I don't know if you ever know him, you haven't heard of him, Jimmy Zangari from Irvington, myself, Rita Greenstone Davis, and of course the iconic Donald Payne Sr. That historic board was the last group to serve under the old form after centuries of that kind of rule, where basically you had the freeholders operating as well as legislators. They were also the executive branch, which was somewhat complicit in certain things that maybe we didn't like. So she headed the group with charter change. And in '78, the government changed. However, an Italian-American holds the record for the longest-serving freeholder under both forms of government.
Correct.
So I appreciate your understanding and recognizing that.
I do. I recognize
Okay.
it. I recognize
That's it.
That's it.
Okay. Just let me say thank you to, I don't have a speech, say thank you to the Freeholder Board, to our President, Mr. Gill, President Gill, to our Vice President, I don't see Wayne here, I think he's at a labor conference, and to all members of the Freeholder Board. Thank you so, so much for your presenting me with this honor. I am certain that all of us here are proud of our heritage. I am in particularly proud, and this is the part that gets me somewhat emotional, and I am delighted that my granddaughters are here, along with my son and my daughter-in-law, and they're going to learn about their great-grandfather, who was born in Messina, Italy, and traveled here in the late 20s and settled in the East Ward on East Kinney Street in the city of Newark, very similar to what Armando's family was through and many of you here. And he was put in Oliver Street School. Oliver Street School at that time was probably not equipped for a 13-year-old who they put in the 8th grade. They were not equipped or could accommodate non-English speaking students. So they graduated him, and I doubt he could even read the diploma in English, but they put him through, and he went to work. And he went to work at one of the factories here in the East Ward, if you remember, a lot of chemical factories, Celanese and some of the others. It probably contributed to his early demise from cancer. And he, along with hard work and perseverance, married my mother, who was a sales clerk at Bamberger's. Remember Bamberger's? Do you remember? If I said to you, I'll meet you under the clock, you knew where we were going. And they gave me an opportunity to go to school, Eastside High School, and of course college, and get my advanced degrees so I would be eligible for an administrative position. And although it's not on the program there, in one generation from a non-English speaking student migrating from Messina, Sicily to America, his son became principal of that school. And that was probably the greatest achievement in my life, and I just treasure the memories. And I think of some of the students that I had the honor, privilege of participating in their education. And my other son was my 6th grade student back at Oliver Street School, and that's Rufus Johnson, believe it or not. That young man was there along with, if you go downstairs, when I was principal at Hawkins, Dana Roan was a student of mine. Carlos Figueroa, as you know him, he's now the Inspector General for the city of Newark. Marvin Adamas from Dayton Street School Marvin is a municipal judge. The greatest thing that ever happened to me, he calls me up, he said, Mr. Polovecchio, I want you to come and have lunch with me, and I want to thank you for what you've done for us when we were up at Dayton Street School. I mean, it goes on and on and on, and I'm just so grateful for that. And of course, to have the honor of being a freeholder here in Essex County for 18, 20 years, and the longest serving Italian American, by the way. Okay. Just put the icing on a cake. So with my granddaughters, my daughter-in-law, my son, I say we have a heritage, we have a background, we have a great culture, and I know you will continue with it. And all of these weeks that we honor different cultures, different groups, it's not to compete, it's to complement each other. And Ralph, you know as well as I, we complement and we go forward. So again, gentlemen, ladies, freeholders, thank you very much, and God bless you all.
Thank you so much, Joe. Just in concluding my remarks, I would like to thank the Democratic County Committee Chairperson, Leroy Jones, and our County Executive, Joe DiVincenzo, for having so much faith in those of us who serve on the Freeholder Board. And I'd also like to thank the Freeholder staff. Our clerk, Deborah Davis Ford, is here, and our deputy clerk, Debbie Marvel, and all the others on the staff for working so hard to put this program together. Thank you.
Wow, Pat, you're making it tough for me to follow behind you. Woo! Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Come on, good afternoon, everyone. This is a celebration, isn't it? An Italian celebration, so good afternoon. My name is Rufus Johnson. I'm the freeholder at large. And by the way, I do have 10% Italian. I found out I got 10%. Just 10% Italian in me. Just 10. Yeah, does that count for anything? Oh, okay, okay. Well, I joined with my colleagues in this year's tribute to the Italian culture and this fine group of honorees. You couldn't pick a better group of honorees. I remember when Sammy DeMeo was first coming into the police department, I was already 4 years in with the city of Newark when you came in, and watch you rise to the top of the ranks and the things that you are doing now. And, you know, thank you, because your father was a great cop also. And Joe Polavecchio, as he said, he was my 7th grade, he was my 6th and 7th grade teacher. I thought I was finished with him in the 6th grade, but they moved him up to the 7th grade, you know, but Joe Polavecchio has always supported me. I'm not supposed to be up here to do this, but I have to say this because Joe is like family to me. His son is like family to me. And it's a thing where you don't get these opportunities to thank people like that for what you've done to me, because God knows where I could have been today if it wasn't for some time when you grabbed me in my collar in school. Come on, back then you could do that. Y'all used to do that. But I appreciate you, and I appreciate your support for all the years that I have even been here in the Freeholder Board. But my task this afternoon is to give you a little more information about this young man that was up here who did the Star Spangled Banner, in which you heard from him before. Now we will welcome him back to share more of the musical talents. But before he does, let me share a few more details about this young man. Jerry Pierce has been inspired by many artists, but Frank Sinatra had the most impact. As much as he studied Sinatra's work, Jerry shared a few more details. Jerry was born in a musical family. His father sang in the men's choir at church and was an avid fan of opera. He says he learned about life through song and is proud to contribute to the tradition of the great style in the American music medium. So without further ado, please help me welcome again Jerry Pierce. Let's give him a round of applause.
In keeping with the tradition today, I've chosen a song in Italian. So for those of you who don't understand the language, my sincerest apologies.
Femmina, tu sei una mala femmina, chi sto che ha fatto chiagnere,
lacrime infamità. Femmina, si tu peggio non vipura, ernusagata l'arnema, non può chiusi il campo. Femmina, si dolce come zucchero, però sta faccia di angelo te serve per ingannare. Femmina, tu sei via più bella femmina, ti voglio bene Torio, non ti posso scordare. Femmina, si dolce come zucchero, però sta faccia di angelo te serve per ingannare. Femmina, tu sei via più bella femmina, ti voglio bene Torio, non ti posso
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Let's give it up for Jerry again. Thank you, Jerry. So again, as a proud Italian American, and I want to mention this because there's two folks here that actually knew my family. My family on my Italian side came to New Jersey from Benevento, Italy, and they lived in the Ironbound of Newark. The Delane family, Jerry Delane, my grandmother Antoinette Delane, Jude Delane, a good friend of the sheriff, all hailed down in the Ironbound, drove for Senator Case for many years. And, you know, again, my immediate family had no government or politic experience. And when I had mentioned to my dad originally back in 2004 that I wanted to get involved in government and politics, he always would insist that I meet with the Delane family, which was my relatives. And they were great mentors and friends. And I know that they had a good run with you, Joe P., and they were good people. That being said, when I was a kid, I also spent a great deal of time with my parents at a lot of different festivities. And one of the festivities that I really enjoyed was the Columbus Day Parade in Newark that used to go up Bloomfield Avenue. You know, we all know and could recognize Asa Legna, who I had the pleasure of meeting, and so many others. You know, our Italian Tribune, right, Phil? Just so many great things, and Italian Americans have contributed so much to Essex County. So that's why the segue is to, you know, thanking everyone who's here that is part of the Belleville-Nutley Italian American organization that continues to keep the tradition alive. And so that would bring me to saying that our Nutley Belleville Columbus Day Parade and Italian Heritage Committee, which fosters the pride in Italian heritage and culture, is our last and only Essex County Columbus Day Parade. The committee members work behind the scenes every year, who I have gotten to know over the years as freeholder, to make sure that the parade is a success. And tonight, we would be remiss if we didn't take a moment to recognize and honor the parade committee. Freeholder Gill.
Thank you, Freeholder Luciano. And I think this is the last time I'm going to have a chance to be at the microphone, so I wanted to thank you for all of your work on this celebration and for co-sponsoring with me tonight. Much appreciated. At this time, I'd like to call up the parade chairperson, is Edie. Come on up, Edie. Round of applause for Edie. We have many parade committee members here, as well as our dignitaries, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to bring them to the podium to be recognized. Please, Edie.
Thank you, everybody. First of all, I would really like to thank the Freeholders, and a special thanks to Debbie Marvel, who's helped us out a whole lot, and to the county exec, Joe D. Very supportive of our parade initiatives throughout the years and really have helped us. Special thanks also to Ralph Caputo. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention you. Thank you so much. But I heard a lot about family tonight, and I have to say the parade committee has become a family. And that is why we're able to put on this parade every year. I know there was a lot of discussion. Ralph always teases us about the stuff between Belleville and Nutley. That doesn't exist anymore, and that's because of the people that we have on the committee. So I would like to ask them to join me up here. We first of all have Melissa Maturo, Vito Maturo, past parade chairperson Bill Frieda, Pasquale Miola, who's also president of the Federation of Italian American Societies. I'm trying to see if anybody else is here. We have Diane Stanzione. And last but not least, as why she's part of the reason why she's being honored is Susan Lamort. This group is basically 12 people that runs the Nutley Belleville Columbus Day Parade. We're all volunteers. We all work as all of you do, and it's really a gigantic effort, but well worth it when we put it together and it all comes together and we have the opportunity to honor the people that have done so much in the communities to promote and preserve our Italian heritage. So if it's okay, Brenda, I could introduce our honorees, and really great round of appreciation to all of you for all that you do every day on the forefront. As you all know, and our Grand Marshal can speak better to this than I can, but we have come under much criticism and scrutiny for Columbus Day, and we want to keep that alive. What's become apparent to me is that, Joe, you're talking about family and your grandparents, and I think, Sammy, you mentioned that also. Susan mentioned that. We are now those people. I hate to say it, but we're getting there. So we are the people that have to promote and preserve. I know I dragged my son into doing everything who's here tonight, and I know most of you, all the other honorees do as well. So it's my privilege tonight to introduce the 2018 Grand Marshal of the Nutley Belleville Columbus Day Parade, Andre Domino. Andre is the past president of Unico National. He's also an active member of the One Voice Coalition, which fights against stereotypes and anti-bias for Italian Americans, which we really do experience. And as I heard throughout your speeches, your grandparents and parents did as well throughout the years. So it's very important that we continue the fight to preserve who we are. We have Anthony Dalbo, our Renaissance man. Mike Mafucci, our Italian business leader. Gives so much back to the community. Joe Palombini, our Italian heritage. Jeannie Lombardi, our Belleville Woman of the Year. Sam Corella, our Nutley Woman of the Year. Tommy Spazzato, our Nutley Man of the Year. And unfortunately, some people, due to the hour of the celebration, couldn't be here for work. Anthony Sessa is our Belleville Man of the Year. Vito Scarpelli he's from Nutley. He's our Lifetime Achievement Award winner, and really that I think. Oh, we also have a scholarship winner, Justin Alfieri, who is Belleville, and we had Dan Gizzo Nutley scholarship winner. We started last year giving away scholarships to some students that were really promoting their Italian heritage and paving the way for that future generation. And we have Barbara Hirsch, who's also our Community Excellence Award. Because we're Italian, we always think of other people. You walk into the house, as people said, there's always food, there's family. So we started a couple of years ago celebrating people that were not of Italian heritage, but that gave back to the community and continued to promote us in a positive way, even though they were not Italian. So we're very proud of that effort. So this is the committee. This is my family, my extended family. And again, I want to thank all of you for inviting us here every year. And Dakota, can you give me those flowers, please? Keep my son busy. He's got to do some stuff. On behalf of the Nutley Belleville Parade Committee and the Federation of Italian American Society, Susan, you have a little Italian flag here. We'd like to present these flowers to you. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Edie. And before you guys sit down, we know Father Reverend Nicastro had to leave. Unfortunately, he had another event tonight. But I just wanted to take this time, Freeholder Gill and I, again, thank you all for being here. We welcome you all to attend on October 7th, which is this Sunday. I believe step-off for the parade is 1:30. And Belleville High School, you know, and the reason why we remind you that is because, you know, these parades and celebratory events, if we don't have folks to march and we don't have spectators, they slowly disappear in our county. So Sammy DeMeo, let's get Bloomfield's police out there. Maybe we could send a rig or two to our sheriff, you know, provide us with the equipment, and let's have a nice day. The weather looks good. I also want to, again, congratulate all the honorees and to all the parade honorees. And we welcome everyone who's here, friends and family, to stick around. We're all going to take some professional pictures, but down the hall in our conference room, we have Italian food and pastries that are catered by Matthew's Italian Restaurant in Clifton, who's a good friend of ours. And we just, again, want to welcome you all to have a nice time for the next half hour. Thank you.